Curtis, DIYer.
DIYers, don't know if you heard recently, but Chance the Rapper is getting ready to release another album after years and years since releasing his last album. This one is called Starline. The thing I want to talk about with this project is not just the project itself, but the very unique way that he's presenting it to his audience. He shared some things on his Instagram. United Masters also covered it here. The headline says Chance the Rapper is promoting his new album with a CD that you don't need to play. So you don't have to play the actual physical CD. What do you mean? It says Chance the Rapper is dropping his new project. The best part is the $8 CD has a chip for you to download the album onto your phone in an instant. So it says Chance the Rapper's new album, Starline, is only $8, but its tech is in the CD that has everyone talking. Long live physical media. But what if you could just tap your phone to the CD and take the music with you? Interesting. Now you can. Chance has always led the way for independence, and this might be his most innovative move yet. What do you think? So I think I might have the company that he's working with. Stay tuned for that. But just to get an idea of what this visually looks like, check this out as he's starting to kind of do the promo for his new project.
Never Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, what up?
How y'all whooping, bro? I'm saying, this the new CD?
Yeah, it's called Starline.
Hold on, 2025. Bro, I need a CD player for this?
No, you don't need a CD player. You just tap right here.
Tap
Touch
with the phone?
Yeah.
Merch.
Yeah, the whole album.
I'm saying, what can I get these whoops?
They on my website right now. It's merged.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, let's start there, Chance. I'm
It's
saying,
merch.
this the brand? Stop.
Yeah.
I seen these outside the United Center, bro.
Them is whoops. These is real. Look, all you gotta do is tap your phone right there.
Tap my phone to the shirt? It's
Yeah.
crazy, Chance.
Like shit, that was in the future, man.
This how y'all coming?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start there.
Yeah.
Starline.
Yeah, but I need the CD back. You can only get it at my website. Matter of fact, you gotta get up out the studio.
Hold on, y'all kicking me out the woo, bro? Come on, bro. Y'all over whooping, bro.
So, as you saw, the CD is one in which you put it out in front of a phone and the phone is able to pick it up. Kind of like how you saw those business cards that were pretty popular a few years ago where you pull out a business card, tap the front of an iPhone or an Android, and then it pulls up your profile. This one is more so you have access now to the music and you can play it and stream it from a particular app. Now, I don't know for sure, but looking at the UI of it, I do feel like the company that is being used is this company here called Eternal Vault, who has actually done some things with Chance the Rapper in the past. Now, we've talked about Eternal Vault. I'm actually going to reach back out to them because I was supposed to go out there to their factory to see what they're working with. But they do some really unique things in that the most popular one that they had was this little itty bitty CD, right? These little mini CDs. And they basically played as almost like like what you saw, like the technology is you put it up to your phone and it brings up the project that you bought, but then also you get to have something physical to hold on to. It also gives you access to things that are like bonus music and things like that. But the reason I thought it was them is because I think they actually had something here with Chance the Rapper, if I'm not mistaken. Is it this one right here? Yeah, this is definitely Eternal App. I saw the logo on there. So if you want to go check them out, ETRNL Vault is where it is. They got keychains. I mean, imagine being able to take your project when somebody says, what do you do? I'll rap, and being able to pull this up right there on your keychain. That's pretty dope. So that's part of the conversation. I think an even bigger conversation that I want to talk about is the way that so many artists are moving into physical products, especially independent artists. Like everybody's doing something really, really creative. Everybody's so creative. Shout out to Vic Mensa. He just did something interesting with his project that involved physical. Rhapsody. I just got the word today that my vinyl is coming. We're going to do an unboxing on that where the music that's on that vinyl is nowhere else except for the vinyl. It's an exclusive vinyl release. Independent artists are doing some really, really creative things. And if you've been following this channel for some years, this is music to our ears because you know how hard I was going against companies like Spotify that like to pay fractions of a penny. With that said, I saw this op-ed on one of my favorite platforms, Afropunk, that talked about from streams to shelves, how Spotify's boycott, if you haven't heard, a lot of artists and bands are boycotting Spotify because of For a hell of reasons. One being that it came out that Daniel Ek is taking the money that he makes off of Spotify, his shares, and he's invested into AI weapons. That's one. Two, the unfair payouts that artists are dealing with on Spotify. And then also, two, just all the changes that listeners have been calling really, really inconvenient. The fact that you have an album that can literally change in a month and you're missing songs that you initially wanted. This is the reason why some people, a lot of people, I should say, are turning to physical archivists. Continuing on. It says, for the past few years, we've been witnessing a quiet but steady cultural shift. More and more people are prioritizing CDs, vinyl, cassettes, and other forms of physical media. People are choosing to hold on to their music, films, and books in a way that can't be swiped away with the click of a corporate button. You know what else that can't happen? AI can't come comb through your music if it's sitting on top of a DVD.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
If it's sitting inside a shoebox, a CD spindle, AI can't come comb through that and take it without your permission. Kind of funny how that works, huh? Recently, that conversation has taken on a new urgency. Many have chosen to boycott Spotify after news of its owner, financial ties, Daniel Ek, to military AI came to light. And while the boycott itself is powerful, that's when what's even more striking is what it's sparking: a widespread return to physical media, and with it, a growing movement of everyday people becoming their own kind of archivists. Not properly official archivists, maybe, but cultural guardians nonetheless, preserving what matters in real, tangible forms. This resurgence is about more than nostalgia. It's about access. People don't want to be losing out on the shit that they've been paying for. These are moments that I have taken my money in an age where people don't feel pressured to buy anything music related. I took that extra step. I want to at least hold on to the things that I bought. But in this age of streaming, that's not always promised. With streaming platforms, entire catalogs of music, films, and shows can vanish overnight, sometimes quietly with no explanation. One day your favorite show is there, the next day it's gone. When corporations hold the key to archives, we risk losing more than just entertainment. We risk losing pieces of our history, our culture, our stories. Which is why that Chance the Rapper situation is interesting, because you are still getting a physical CD and you are getting the access, the convenience of being able to stream it off of the app. It goes on to also say, and let's be real, streaming doesn't support artists the way we think it does. No shit. Most musicians on Spotify make only cents on the dollar for each stream, if that. Consuming physical media is one of the few ways we can directly support the people creating the art we love. Do you buy physical media? Do you purchase vinyls? Do you purchase, have you found yourself doing that more frequently over the last year? Leave it below in the comments. Buying a CD, a vinyl, or even a cassette puts money straight into the artist's hands instead of padding a platform's bottom line with your subscription. Every physical purchase is both a protest against exploitation and a tangible investment in the art itself. That's where physical media comes in. A CD or vinyl record can't disappear because of a licensing dispute. For instance, there's TV shows right now on HBO Max that I believe used to be on Adult Swim, and because of whatever licensing situations going on, they've all disappeared. Imagine paying or re-upping another month just to see the shows that because you can't watch every show that comes accessible to an HBO Max. Imagine those all being gone and you just paid your next month to not even be able to watch them. That sucks. A DVD won't vanish because of an algorithm says that it's not profitable. There are artifacts that stay with us that we can pass down, share, and revisit without fear of erasure. And while building your own collection matters, don't forget the resources that have always been there, your local library. Libraries continue to offer free access to DVDs, CDs, tapes, and books, making them critical hubs for cultural preservation and access, especially for communities that streaming often overlooks. This is especially important when you think about critical hubs for cultural preservation. When you think about websites like MTV, right? MTV News, when they just decided to get rid of archives of interviews in text, interviews in video, and not even give the people who created these things access to it. Rob Markman was talking about it. Some of his work is in it. A lot of his work is in there. To just get rid of it, to make room, that's not the way that you preserve a culture that you supposedly give a damn about. But when these companies get sold over to other people who could care less about preserving it, it leaves a lot of history in limbo. In many ways, the Spotify boycott has cracked open a deeper realization. We can't rely on corporations to keep our culture safe. We have to take that power into our own hands. And right now, across the country and around the world, people are doing just that. Dusting off their old iPods. You still got an iPod? Rebuilding CD collections. You got that CD book? Digging through crates of vinyl and remembering that culture is best preserved when we hold it, care for it, and pass it on. This moment isn't just about stepping away from one streaming platform. It's about reclaiming ownership over our cultural memory. It's about becoming archivists of the things we love, ensuring that our stories, our sounds, and our visions stay alive for generations to come. We're not just streaming anymore, we're preserving. I love this. Who wrote this, by the way? This was Leslie Vargas. A lot of valid points are being brought up in this. Yeah, I think what Chance the Rapper's doing, and I think what a lot of artists are doing right now, is that they're seeing the power of super fans. They're also seeing the power of creating stories that are beyond the music, but also extensions of the music. They're also becoming really, really amazing at building campaigns around their project, whether it's a surprise release or a project on the way. This video by Rough Music Official I thought was really, really interesting. I wanted to share with you on this topic of artists who think in campaigns, grow faster, DIYers. Definitely take notes.
100 artists. Here's why the ones that think in visual worlds grow faster. When you have a single release mindset, you drop a song, you post the cover art, throw up a few lip sync videos and hope that people watch those and go over to streaming. But when you have a campaign mindset, you're building an entire visual and sonic experience that makes people want to live inside that world. And that doesn't have to be an album either. Here's what I mean. If you look at Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia campaign, she created an entire disco universe. She had the neon colors, the retro futuristic aesthetic, and 70s dance club visuals that made people feel like they were stepping into a time machine. Every visual element worked together to create one cohesive world. And here's that mindset shift. Instead of just asking, okay, what's the cover art look like? You gotta ask, what entire world am I building? And instead of posting random content because you feel like it's an obligation to promote your music, you have to ask, how does this add a layer to the story?
That includes what photo shoots, that includes the colors that you plan on using in your assets. That means the colors that you plan on using in collaboration with your clothing, right? You might even get a stylist just for this particular run. That involves your visuals that you're doing. Like one of the dopest things from a viewer standpoint, and I take myself as an artist out of this because I'm still a fan, is to be able to look at something that I feel like I have no familiarity with, and I'm being introduced into a whole new world by an artist that I'm already familiar with, but they've done such a masterful job of making sure that every single drop has a strategy to it. There's nothing doper than it. Right. I think it's got to the point now where some artists, they understand, at least on one level, the necessity to show that they're human. And that's important to show these things. But I mean, you should be doing that on a regular basis anyways. But some of them also mess up the illusion. They mess up the magic of having a well-structured layout and what it provides to a viewer, what it provides to someone who wants to learn about the world that they're getting ready to experience first visually and then within the music. Like sometimes you'll do content and it'll make no damn sense. That just seems like you just begging for engagement. Like really, really look at this as a movie that you are presenting to people with every single post. I think that is an art that is lost on some people.
And here's exactly how to apply that campaign thinking. Pick 3 to 5 visual themes that support your next couple of releases, but plan every visual touch point from social posts to merch to live visuals to all be connected in this one world. So that way you're not just throwing random songs out there that feel disconnected. You're creating an experience that the fan can go 2, 3, 4 layers deep with. After building...
Yeah, not only that, but they can also return back to it and get that instant nostalgia. There's been so much nostalgia, I feel like, that has been thriving right now. When I think about the Tyler project, when I think about the Clips project, when I think about this Metro Boomin project, when I think about Ghostface Killer's project on the way, when I think about, Nas, and I think about just all Kendrick, of course, with GNX and just everything that's happened since last year. There's been so many people that have been reminding you of a time that you're already familiar with, but putting a modern spin on it that makes it feel brand new, makes it feel fresh and well aware of the time that it's existing in. And I think that is an art form. That is something that is accessible as an art form. No matter what your budget is, there's always a creative way to do that. I salute Chance the Rapper for being amongst so many artists that are looking at this and saying, there is money to be made in music. Don't get it twisted. People's favorite quote is that there's no money to be made in music. And usually the people that I hear saying that are the people who are making money off of music. They just don't make it. This can be afforded to you, but how much work are you willing to do in building worlds and building campaigns around your product, around your music, to make sure that the right people have access to it, to make sure that it has the most reach that it can have? That is all up to you ultimately, because some folks don't have the budget to have a Tyler the Creator figurine standing 10 feet tall outside of a stadium. I get it, but there's always more to be done. DIYers, what are your thoughts on that? And do you plan on supporting physical if you haven't already? Let me know in the comments below.